Hello Internet, this is Roshi and I'm back with another reaction, this time reacting to Genshin Impact's 5.5 version trailer. Day of the Flames Return. I'm going to watch it and then I'm going to talk about it. Let's get into it.
We made it! Welcome to the Collective of Plenty.
What up, my dudes? The name's Aoife, a vet from the Flower Feather Clan.
Nothing gets the blood pumping like a contest to see which tribe's the strongest, huh?
Time for a real showdown. Form first. Start the clock. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I gotta get some food in me.
Atoli! Get ready to feast!
More, please! Catch me if you can! If you can figure out which way to go, of course!
Oh.
Evil jerk of a mushroom! Let me show you instead. Here goes nothing. Look out below! Hero incoming! Ultimate flying kick! Oh no, not good! The volcano is acting up again! Ungrateful humans! Is there really some kind of evil power inside the sacred flame crystals?
I gotta think this through. What should I do?
It would be great if we could get to the bottom of this, but not every historical mystery can be unraveled.
Okay. Now we're going to talk about it. There's a few things that that I want to say. Boy, where do we start? Well, once again, for those of you who may be new joining me, I am not this far in the game. I am not in Natlin. In fact, I'm not even in Fontaine. I'm not even in Sumeru. Close, but not yet. I like to watch these though, and I speculate a little bit, and I mostly talk about like characters and art and stuff like that. So if you're into that, stick around. Anyway, what we have here are some new faces. Well, you know, new as in they're actually going to be in the game now. I know people have known about these characters for a long time, especially this one, Janssen. I don't know, is that an I or an L at the beginning of her name? Forgive me, I don't know. This guy, I believe this is one of the what's his name? Aoife, and he is one of the silhouetted characters that they showed in that special program a few back. He's a veterinarian. Cool. I don't know much about him otherwise. I don't know. I mean, it seems like this is going to be your first time meeting him within the story. Otherwise, he would have probably have appeared in a previous version trailer. Maybe. Actually, that's not necessarily true, because you've met characters like Baiju very early on in Liyue, but didn't really get to have him as a character until Sumeru, was it? So I don't know. Maybe he has made appearances before. I'm not sure. I just assumed he hasn't because they had his silhouette in that one special program a ways back. So one thing that I do want to say about this is that, and although we didn't get to see, I mean, no, I mean you did see it plenty. I was just on the screen not too long ago. Where is it? I was just gonna say that I think Natlin seems to have the most variety as far as like what NPC characters are doing. I think this is something that they're actually improving after like over each region, because you know you have Mondstadt and they're just standing there. I can't speak for Sumeru or Fontaine, but Inazuma they seem a little more active, you know. But you have like different poses here, like them actually doing some meditation, and you know, in the past we've seen dancing and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever talked about it. I just wanted to bring it up. I do think it's cool that they are trying to make their area a little more lived in compared to previous places. It'd be awesome if they could somehow go back and do something with that. They won't. It's probably too much work at this point. And they also don't like focusing on previous regions too much after they're moved on from it, because, you know, it's all about the new, join the new stuff. We have a banner for you to skip right to the where we are in the story now. Skip all that stuff, play our new thing. Like, you know, which is obnoxious, and I hate it so much. It's greed incarnated. But yeah, there's that. Let's see. Now we're finally getting this character. You know, this was the character that they showed in the Teyvat Travail trailer, where Dainsleif is having his visionary talk about the events that have happened. And yeah, this was like the character that they show that for Natlin, even though turns out that apparently this character is a 4-star. Personally, that doesn't bother me. I don't necessarily care about things like that. I know a lot of people do care, and it's unfortunate. What can I tell you? I don't know, but that doesn't mean that the character's gonna suck. At the same time, I understand why people would get mad, because if you want this character but you don't want to get like, and you want to use them in a more like meta way or a competitive thing or whatever that is, then yeah, you're probably going to need multiple copies of the character, and that costs you more money, and that's dumb. If it's a 4-star, with most 4-stars, it seems like you need, you know, constellations of them for them to match a 5-star, which is unfortunate that there's that kind of lock behind it. For me as a casual player, and for other casual players, I can't imagine why you would care. As long as you like the character, you like the character, and that's just what that is. One thing that I like about this character that I've seen were some of her animations. Now, they too have, I keep saying she, I don't actually know, but forgive me if I'm wrong. they have a sprint boost thing as well. Same thing with Verisa. And my guess, it's not going to be, maybe the durations won't be as long or something. I'm not sure. But it is kind of like your little taste of that sort of power if you don't get the Verisa character. I do love this. I love how their animation, their eye candy burst animation or skill, I'm not sure which one it is. I imagine the running is the skill and this is like a burst, the shockwave. I love how it's animated, how it's just all jagged and very like shockwave, earthquake. But it's a combination of the purple and yellow, which are great complementary colors, and it looks really good here in this like energy depiction of this attack. I like that. I think that's cool. Now, let's talk about some other things. I want to talk about Verisa a little bit. I'm actually not sure how to pronounce her name either, so my bad about that. Where is she? She is later on. What I like about her, well, here's some things. I'm gonna, okay, this is a good screen to pause on. All right, so there's a few things that I want to talk about this character because I don't think I've really shared in a video my thoughts. And I know a lot of people were going back and forth, whether they love her design, they hate her design, all this stuff. I didn't really want to get involved with that kind of drama and stuff. Within my Discord, where if you become a member, you can join, I did share my opinions while talking with others. I dropped a paragraph of what I thought about this character's design, at least, because I don't know them. I don't know their personality. So for me, my issue was I have praised the last few characters for having a very nice color palette, how they've been using a lot of these pastel colors, these pinks, these blues, these purples. And now I was kind of, when they introduced this character, I was sort of feeling like, again? I mean, like, it's great, but I mean, like, again? We gotta go with like the girly pop thing. Like, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like, all right, now we're doing it a little too much. That was my opinion. It doesn't look bad though. Her color scheme doesn't look bad at all. For me, I was just like, but we're doing it again. Okay. I guess it's fine. I mean, you have the Janssen and the Aoife guy who don't really have that going on. So it's fine. We will have a break from it. But if the next, adult woman character comes out with pastel colors as their thing, I'm gonna lose it, because it's just like, all right, now we gotta get back to being creative again, guys. You were for a second there, and then you reverted back to oh, this is comfortable, let's stay. And again, Hoyo vs. Genshin loves to do that. They love to get comfortable and just stay in their little pocket, and they stop to innovate a little bit, and then eventually they'll do something that's crazy, and they will be innovative and do a thing. But once they get comfortable in something because they think that's what people want, they stick in it, and they don't get that they have to freaking change sometimes. They eventually do, but that's just the trend that I see with how they do things. But right now, what I have to say, I think she's fine. I originally had some issues with some of her clothes that she had, because I didn't really. It's one of those things where a lot of Genshin Impact characters, they all have like great designs, right, for the most part. But if you really take a moment to look at their clothing, it doesn't make sense how it's put together, how it stays on, or just how it fits in general. But at the same time, for those characters, you usually have to look at them for a period of time. With this character, I saw her, and within like a minute, I could be like, "Whoa, that doesn't make sense to me." Like I don't fully understand her top, how it's like she's kind of got like the boob sock, but it's coming out of a sweater, but the sweater is tied at the bottom, so it's technically normally open here, but I don't know what it's like up here. I guess it's tied up here too, underneath this thing, underneath this flap. And then once again, we got the sleeves, the with the no shoulders, and the man, they really like their shoulders and armpits. I wish we would have a normal sweater at some point, or a normal shirt at some point. But that's just me. Those are my own pet peeves. There's plenty of other characters that have this issue. I mean, even my favorite character, Ganyu, you know, she also does the thing. At the time, hers makes sense to me because it looks like it could actually be like tighter up here. And to give this character credit, she does have these bands, which could give you that pressure to keep the sleeve on. But there are some characters that just kind of have like the floating sleeve, and there's no reason why it should be staying there like that. That's just my opinion. I know some people were complaining that her skirt was too short. I don't care. It's a gacha game. They're gonna do that. They gave her the thigh pudge for the tight stocking. I see a lot of people were saying that this character is more so leaning towards Zenless Zone Zero. I mean, I think a lot of people are only saying that though because just the feel of Natlin in general, how it is more modernized. So you could say that about a lot of Natlin characters, not just this one. So I'm not sure if that's like so sure, yeah. But so were a bunch of other guys before her. So it's not a big deal to me. Yeah. And I did think some of her accessories were a little, I mean, they're okay. I don't really see the issue here. I thought she had some, maybe is there a better picture? How about this? No, let's see. Hold on. I lost it. I thought I was onto something. Okay. Yeah, okay, so this is the other thing. It doesn't bother me now as much, but I thought it was a little strange how she not only had her hairpins, but then she also had the same exact kind of hairpins in her socks. I thought that was a little weird, but I know that they want to keep things interesting and have things asymmetrical and to break things up, so it's not just like blank white socks. But if that was the case, they could have easily just had a pattern. I don't know. Has anyone ever wore hairpins in their socks? Let me know. Is that fun? Does that make you have a fun time when you're walking around outside just showing them off? I don't know. But yeah, the things that I do like is that, once again, I do like the color scheme, even though I complained about it. I am just getting a little tired of it. But it is what it is. She seems like a very cute character, and I do like this this luchador thing that she's got going on, right? This hints of it. I know that was another complaint that people had, because it's like, oh, she's 90% this kind of character and then like 10% luchador. And sure, who cares? It's not a big deal. I think how they show it here, when she goes into this mode, or when she's doing this attack, whatever you want to call it, that she kind of gets like this energy, like luchador mask, this semi luchador mask, right? It seems like it's part of one anyway, that kind of just forms in place, and I think that's cool. Yeah, like this looks sick. I will say one thing with Natlan characters, big time, is that their animations for their attacks, their skills, their bursts, even some of their normal attacks and charge attacks and stuff like that, they are becoming more unique. They are becoming pretty flashy in their own specific way. Like, you know, when this character from Natlan is doing their thing because of the animation, right? I don't know if this is a style that they're going to continue onward, or if it's going to be unique to Natlan, and then the next area, Snezhnaya, most likely, will have a different kind of characteristic to their attack animations and such. With Natlan likes to do a lot of like very bright, almost neon color scheme like stuff. Like it's almost, it feels almost overly flashy, if that makes sense. And I know people can argue, like, what do you mean burst animations have always been flashy? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say flashy to describe all of them. For example, one of the best burst animations in the game, and I don't care, I'll fight anyone who says otherwise, Yae Miko's burst animation, I wouldn't call that flashy, but I would call it very intense. It's almost like, what do I want to say? There's like a mysteriousness to it. There's okay, it's just hot. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. It's just that this isn't hot. This is just like, wow, in your face. But then you have other characters that do other things, such as like Ayaka and her thing, and like that's not, I wouldn't call that. It's cool, no pun intended, but it's not flashy in the sense how this is flashy, if that makes sense. This is like a whole nother level. They do have this futuristic quality to their Natlan animations, which fits for their style in general, for the most part, in my opinion. Wow, I didn't realize how long I was talking about this. Anyway, I just want to say that I think the characters look cool, and I don't mind it. Am I going to pull for either of them? Realistically, probably not. However, I feel like this one is going to be a lot of fun, because just because of her running animation, there's something goofy about it. But hey, I grew up liking Sonic. This reminds me of that. It looks like it could just kind of be fun to just cruise around and stuff, and just be that way. I don't know. The whole running on water seems pretty cool. Yeah, she seems like she'd just be a fun character to at least do exploration in. I mean, sure, you have Mawika already, and she does everything, right? With her motorcycle. But if you didn't want Mawika, or you don't have Mawika, now you have another character with another cool expedition option to get around. And Natlan's been very good at introducing those kinds of characters. We've had them before, but usually it was just like, oh yeah, I can run with less stamina being consumed. Oh, I can run a little faster when it's nighttime. You know, or it's like, oh, I have more stamina when I climb. Like, they always messed with like the stamina meter. But now we just have more unique ways of getting around. Sure, I guess you could have Venti and Kazuha for like an air burst to fly up and reach something higher. Sure, that's cool. They didn't do that a lot, which is fine because they don't want to repeat themselves, I guess. But then again, they repeated a bunch of other things, so I don't know. I like how innovative they are with their exploration techniques here. I know some people will complain that it's not the same once you leave Natlan. It's not as strong. But is it any worse than anything else? I don't know. Can your other characters run on water? I mean, you have Farina. Not everyone has Farina. I don't have Farina. Anyway, I'm just messing around, guys. Anyway, I want to move forward and talk about this, and I'm not going to speculate too hard. They said that the volcano is erupting again, so that told me that the volcano has already erupted once before. I think they were introducing a new Saurian. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, or Sauron, creature of the world that's within Natlan. That looked like it charges through stuff. And now you have a place that's looking like this. And honestly, the first thing I have to... Whoa, wait a minute. I just noticed stuff. Okay, anyway. What I was originally going to say, I'm getting major Chen Yu Vale vibes because of this kind of look in the world here. These things that were used to communicate with the gods themselves, or at least the place where they would go to. I forget the actual place name in Chen Yu Vale, but I did that quest, so I kind of... Some things are looking a little similar, you know. It's just the actual landscape is kind of broken up. And speaking about broken up, we got the sky. Is this just... at first I thought these were things floating in the sky, and then I realized, no, this is just the sky breaking. That's just the sky breaking in multiple places. Okay. Well, I knew the sky was fake, so that's one thing. Oh dear. All right. So, for those of you who don't know, the members who have joined my channel and my Patreon do know this at this point, but I have been in the works on another speculation theory video of sorts for quite some time. Actually, there's been a couple in the works, and I've been going back and forth between them, which isn't a good idea, and that's why it's been taking so long. But there's been one I've been working on since almost technically before I released my Kaya video. If you want to check that out, there's a video called The Key to Conria, and it has a picture of Kaya's face on it, because I use information about Kaya to learn about Conria. And a little bit of Dainsleif stuff too. Sorry, my throat's making noises. I don't know if you heard that. My apologies. Yeah. There's another theory I've been working on, and I've had to go back into my script and adjust some things, because I've recently went through Enkonomia in the game, and more recently, the Chasm. That's where I currently am in my playthrough as of right now. So I am learning some things. Oh, and then the social media moon information dropped too. So I am all over the place. I have all sorts of new notes that I am putting into my script. And let's just say this is a thing that potentially does something for that. Oh, it also, I mean, the fact that I've recently started looking into Honkai Impact 3rd stuff too is also rattling my brain. Anyway, I think I've said enough. This video that was only 4.5 minutes long, I ended up talking about it a lot longer than I thought, but hey, that's par for the course. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate it. This looks pretty interesting, these characters at the very least. As far as where the story's going, I don't know, but that's okay, because I don't want to know yet. I hope you enjoy it, and that's all I got. So, if you enjoyed this, make sure you let me know by liking the video, writing a comment down below, checking out the description for additional ways of how to follow me, support me rather. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. All that good stuff. You guys know what to do. Like the video, share it, all that stuff. I'm repeating myself now just because I want your support. It means that much to me. And until next time, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.